Next week is Thanksgiving Day, and the day after Thanksgiving is Black Friday, and both make next weekend a holiday weekend. Then comes Cyber Monday, and December has a bunch more holidays and, well, what I call almost holidays, like Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve. So, my question for you is, do you know my winning slot strategies for taking advantage of casinos around holidays and special promotional events? Yes? No? Whichever the case may be, let's review them to make sure you're in tip-top condition for you to take advantage of casinos over the upcoming holiday season, instead of just letting casinos try to take advantage of you. And we have a donation already. So let me thank you, Chuck, for uh, your your donation. Chuck is regularly donates, and it's wonderful. He has what's called a super chat, and he says, "Happy Thanksgiving to everybody." So happy Thanksgiving, everyone. That's wonderful. And we have a few more people in the live chat. I had a few conversations before the show started, mostly welcoming people. And if we start getting some questions, I'll come back to those. So thank you so much, Chuck, for the donation. It really does help keep my business going. I'm kind of scraping along at this point, and probably need to get better at marketing or something. But it's been a wonderful first experience in being a small business owner. But we have holiday season coming up, and that's I'm looking forward to that. I hope you are as well. So let's get into today's content. Right. Or actually, there's something else I wanted to mention first, which is to get you ready for the upcoming holiday season and this wonderful time to take advantage of casinos. Sign up to my course, 30 Days to Play Slots Smarter and Win. Besides all its great slots content, you get valuable bonuses such as lifetime access, a free copy of my book, Learning to Win, and spreadsheet templates. And we're going to be talking about these for slots record keeping, for income tax preparation purposes, as usual, but also gameplay analysis. You also get 1 month free membership to my Slots Enthusiast Growth Network, where you get community support from myself and other slots enthusiasts. So let me share that. Um, so this is my what's called a landing page, and you'll see it's very long and very descriptive. Within the next 30 days, my online course, 30 Days to Play Slots Smarter and Win, currently discounted at 50% for $100 savings, will get you where you need to be to make the most of casinos during the upcoming holiday season, as well as into the new year. So get you all set up for that. So visit professorslots.com/30 days. A link is in the show notes, links in the video description to learn more about this well-received course, including a full description of its contents, as well as testimonials. So the link is in the video description. This is where it'll take you. The green button is where you would actually go to the site that the vendor and its little landing page. And there's a course curriculum that you'll find here, which is expandable, and you can go through what each of the 30 days provides you, and not what the tasks are, not what the resources are, but the topic by topic, so you understand what you are getting. And with the landing page, professorslots.com/30 days, you'll get, I'll scroll through it quickly here. I know some of you are on a phone and it's hard to see some of this, but I've tried to make it as visible as possible for you. Those of you who are not currently on the computer, but it's testimonials, descriptions. I go through each of the sections, where each kind of a collection of a few days topics and getting you foundational stuff, talking about what are your goals out of slots. I know a lot of people are like, well, I just want to win. Well, what do you want to win? Do you want the comps? Do you want the money? Do you want to have a good time? there's and or some combination of that, and that's just the beginning. For personally, for me, I'm trying to learn. When I go to a casino, I'm trying to learn so I can share with you. That's not exactly the gambling goal that most people have, but still, what is your goal? It matters, and you don't if you don't have a goal, you won't achieve your goal, right? Because you don't know what it is. I talk about some of that aspects of things, and that as well as the slot strategies. But I set you up to understand what I'm trying to do and the reasons why it works, and why it's repeatable and not just luck-based winning. So I go through each of these sections, and you get all that, and talk more about the Slots Enthusiast Growth Network, because this online course, it's self-led. You can take it as quickly or as slowly as you want to. I have videos there for you, tasks, resources, but one of the things that lacks is support. So you get 1 month free with 30 days free to join the growth community, where we're all at, and we have weekly Zoom meetings. We're all right there being on display, and ask you, I have a social hour one week, a Q&A the next week. It's all just questions after questions. Sometimes our questions are for you, and we go through all of that. So that is the way that you get support for taking the course. Back when I was teaching university physics, we would have something called a recitation, where just 1,000 people in the lecture hall don't exactly get their questions answered, so they break them all up into groups of 30, and I would get a couple of those groups, and we would meet in a room, and with a chalkboard and whiteboard, and just answer questions, or being in a help room. And so I wanted to provide that sort of aspect to things, and no charge, no additional charge, with the course. And so that's what the community is coming in. We're talking about some interesting stuff that's also not covered in the course. I go through, and it's kind of a little bit related to today, where I talk about my individual strategies. But when you start understanding what the strategies are, if you've never met me before, never been to a live stream, never watched my videos, or maybe just watched one or two, you may not know that I have 9 strategies, that some of them combine well. Only one of them is actually a combination of several things, strategy 6. But we're starting to see in the Slots Enthusiast Growth Network how to combine these individual things. And I tell people not to worry about it too much. If you learn one well, then you learn another strategy well. I talk about this in my book. Some of them combine really well, some not so much. Others, some of them are contradictory. What are you trying to accomplish is on opposite ends of the spectrum. But some of them really do kind of add together. And so the Slots Enthusiast Growth Network is the only place so far that where in today's live stream, where I'm starting to combine things. But it's not really for beginners, and I don't want to talk over people's heads. It's once you learn one, once you learn another, and this is why I don't want people to worry about it, you start to begin to naturally see the connections and proceed from there. And that's kind of what we're going to talk about on combining 2 of my strategies for this whole thing that's coming up for us in the second half of November and December and the first couple of days of January. And did I miss something over here? Yeah, we have some chats and some questions. But let me find the next break, and we'll come back to those. But keep asking your questions. This is a Q&A, and I look forward to answering your questions. But just to talk about our topic today, next week is the beginning of this whole season. So casino special events are an opportunity to improve your slots gambling odds, and therefore your overall gambling performance. I won my largest slot machine jackpot to date when testing this strategy. $27,000 at 5:40 a.m. on a Saturday morning, a few minutes before Christmas, or few days before Christmas. Great promotional events, whether coordinated to occur during or immediately following large local community or sporting events, or special casino events. Casino's marketing staff uses special events, and I always interrupt for donations. Um, uh, uh, Shawana Lee has given a super chat, and she didn't say anything, but thank you so much for the $20 donation. It really does help. It really does help keep everything running when I would like to keep everything running. Like I said, I'm not the best marketer, but need to work on that. Um, uh, just win at slots. That's all I want to talk about. But I need to be able to get the word out. There's too many people who have, for instance, come back from Las Vegas and only then read my 7 secrets for your Las Vegas visit and gone, I wish I had known this before I went. And I'm like, sorry, I need to get better at marketing. Right. So, right. So, great promotional events, whether coordinated with some local activity, is what the marketing staff puts together. It's an integral part of their trying to take advantage of you. It's their winning strategy. Another special promotional event, perhaps not related to community events, is a car giveaway. Whether manufactured by the casino or caused by outside activities, a special event is anything that drives a surge of large crowds to a casino. Think about the next, and the question I get here all the time is, what drives a large surge of people to my casino? Is it Valentine's Day? Is it Derby Day? Is it, what is it? What would cause it? And you have to find out for your own casino. If your local casino doesn't have a racetrack, will it have a large crowd on Derby Day when they run the Kentucky Derby? It's most casinos, but especially those with a racetrack, with a horse racetrack or simulcast betting. So you have to learn your own casino. And we're going to talk about this. This is where the slots gambling records, which are great for income tax preparation purposes, can also be expanded to add notes and observations for notes and observations for what will be happening in that day, so that a year later, and I'll be asking you questions about this, a year later we'll know what to do. So come back to this. Thank you, Sport Guy 17. New to the slots game. I'm doing my studies. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you for the super chat and for the donation. Very much appreciated. Seriously, very much appreciated. So you might have a car giveaway. Did I mention I won a car at a car giveaway? It was pretty intense. That's when I knew I had to start a business. Took the money. $40,000. Can't say it's my biggest jackpot because it wasn't off a slot machine. It was a giveaway, right? So promotional prize is what they call it. 1099 miscellaneous instead of a W2G. I don't mean to talk over anybody's head who hasn't become familiar with how you might get paid by a casino or win money from a casino. Okay, so think about the next month and a half. From the middle of November through the new year, how many special events do you think there will be? The short answer is lots. Whatever the case, holidays or celebrity appearances, the casinos invite you to special events via email and mail flyer distributions using your player's card sign-up. Highway billboards and other traditional marketing advertising venues will also spike casino attendance. I found special events to not be a good time to play slots at a casino. I never think it's a good idea to be at a casino when the casino wants you to be there. That's them trying to take advantage of you. They're all set up and just walk this way through the primrose path, and I worry about they're being good at their job. So the reason special events are a winning strategy is because of what comes immediately after a special event, particularly in the early morning on the following day between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. Sometimes it might last till 6:30 a.m. So there's a time frame there, and I know some casinos, not very many these days, were closing for cleaning. So it would be, if they closed for cleaning at 2 o'clock in the morning and opened again at 10 o'clock in the morning, then 10 o'clock in the morning would be where you go. So if you have questions about that, just email me at john@professorslots.com. So my personal slots gambling records, my own that I've built and kept and maintained, show this post special event period to be an excellent time for casinos I've attended the morning after special events. This gambling record keeping data also matches my financial understanding of how casinos manage their financial record keeping after a busy night. I think I'm lots of activity in the live chat. Looking forward to reading some of those comments. A casino has a targeted gambling percentage payout commitment to its stakeholders. Relatively huge audiences occur at significant special events. It is easier, perhaps even necessary, to meet these stakeholder expectations if the casino pays out very slightly less on a busy night, less than their best educated guess of how much they should pay out to meet those obligations. But why? Because real-time calculation of their financial performance after a busy night, the counting at the casino, isn't technically possible, not in real time, not instantly. It is a known limitation of casino operating technology, which can only provide near real-time results, not real-time results. Just think about it. Sure, slots would have plenty of electronic data for them to process really quickly, but they have to count chips. They have to count money. They have to do plenty of things to understand the casino's performance overall, not some small aspect of it. And you get these delays for the large networks, progressive slot machines that can take a while to process, and you don't know how your night performs until you get an answer for that. And those things are not quick for the large area progressives. We've talked about that in the past. So what's the difference between real time and near real-time results? On the busy night of a casino special event, it's about 4 to 6 hours. This difference is essential, an imperfect situation resulting in a delay useful to you and the underlying cause of this winning strategy. For casino to meet their desired financial performance metrics for a busy night without real-time analytics, the only safe approach is for the casino to pay out slightly less than they needed to meet their financial performance commitments for that day. Let's imagine casinos don't do this. Instead, what if they make their best guess despite their having performance statistics for on a 4 to 6 hour delay? What then? In general, half the time they'll be right and half the time they'll be wrong if they just go with their best guess. So consider the half the time that they're wrong, or say 25% of the time, when they find out they've paid out too much on a busy night. This scenario is a big problem for a casino. Why? Because the crowds have all gone home. Most holidays, most big events don't have, Thanksgiving Day followed by Black Friday, followed by a busy holiday weekend, followed by Cyber Monday. They're like the 4th of July, which might not be on a weekend. It's a single day. And so the crowds go home on most holidays, most big events, Friday giveaways. And that means they have a hard time with that loss. So how long would the casino have to reduce their overall payout return to take people's money during the next week with its relatively smaller attendance before they can make up for that miscalculation on that busy night? Hint, think in terms of days. The amount of profit recovered from a larger crowd would take a few hours only, if that. Taking the same amount from a small group of players would take several days. Who would these players be in the early part of a week after a big weekend event when it wasn't a holiday any longer? Well, they're locals. They're bread and butter, always dependable, hard to replace local slots enthusiasts who would come to dislike their local casino for always losing. But let's consider the opposite business scenario, where they don't use their guests. But let's say they, if they're wrong, but instead they pay out not enough. Well, that's not a problem at all on a busy night. As soon as they know for sure how much they're behind on from their best guess and what compared to what actually happened once they know for 6 o'clock in the morning, well, you just give out a few hand pays, a couple of jackpots, maybe in the high limit room to precisely balance their accounting to the exact payout return target desired. Easy. Uh, Making sure everything's looking good over there. Um, uh, and that's an easy process. Since the second process makes it easy for the casino to meet its financial target without any risk, why not do it deliberately? Uh, um, uh, Lots going on in the live chat, I see. Why not pay out slightly less than their best guess for the projected financial target during special events? Then fix it with a couple of jackpots. Jackpots you could win. Before you do that, however, you'll first need to know when special events occur. The strategy of the winning advantage of special events is to plan for visits to the casino in the early morning after they occur. One major disadvantage of this winning strategy is learning or knowing when casinos have large crowds in attendance. I've been to two different casinos on earlier this year on Valentine's Day, and one was having a big event where for couples to come in, there were roses everywhere, and the other one, they were like, what? It's a holiday? It's Valentine's Day, I guess. We don't have anything going on. So it really does depend on whether your casino celebrates a holiday. Now, we could talk about would people go to a on Thanksgiving Day or Christmas morning to a casino? Maybe not, because that might be a family event that would be. But going in the morning on Thanksgiving, maybe. Maybe going in the evening of Christmas Day, maybe, and so you have to look at what your casino does, and this is where the gambling records come in. We'll talk about that, where you keep track of these things, and I'll tell you what I did and how to take advantage of that. So, uh, the strategy of the winning advantage of special events is to plan for visits to the casinos in the early morning after they occur. And one disadvantage is not knowing if it's going to be busy. So, not just holidays, but special event could be a local sporting event. Is there a major team in like downtown Cincinnati has a couple of teams, and maybe there was a big home game or All Stars game or something like that. So the strategy. So what is the local sports schedule for home games? Is there a special guest planned at the casino, a celebrity or another type of promotional event, big car giveaway they've been planning for a while? Are you a member of the casino's players club, and did you get a mail flyer or email about a special occasion? For guests and promotions, both the easiest and hardest way to know their complete event schedule is to be a top tier player in the casino's loyalty club, because the top tier players get everything, including the guest plus one special events. So, or maybe someone who's a top tier or near top tier player. Having such a connection is essential to optimize the strategy, because the more special events you know about, the more often you can use this winning strategy. Hosts keep their top tier players informed about every one of them. Otherwise, join the Players Club in a program and get mail flyers for most promotional events at the casino. Further advertisements on the casino website shows limited information for events open to the public. You'll always need to keep up with the schedules for sporting events, marches, and other outside events in the casino, which the casino may be taking advantage of themselves. What's easy about Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's is that we can make reasonable assumptions. It may not be Christmas morning, but Christmas evening. It may not be Thanksgiving evening, but rather Thanksgiving morning. These are nationwide, and some of them international holidays. and you look at the schedule, and it's less questionable than whether or not the team is popular and they're having a home game. So was this Friday a big night, or are they skipping this one? So sometimes it's easy to figure this stuff out, like this next few months. Holidays, what do you do about it? Do you go on the day, or do you go on the day after? Well, we'll get to some of that. And it's particularly if somebody has a question. Oh, thank you, Little Heifer Gaming, for your $5 donation. Hope you have a great gobble till you wobble day. Thank you. I think that's wonderful. Right, and thank you for the donation. Much appreciated. Yeah. So it seems like figuring out when special events are, holidays, maybe a little easier. Home games. All this seems like it might be a bit too much research, and I don't want to burden you with that. I mean, if you're trying to make a living at slots, that's one thing where you're like nail all this stuff down. But if you're just trying to, in the next week, what might I do? Well, there's a more straightforward way to implement this strategy. However, be aware it may result in some wasted bankroll, some additional wasted bankroll. Assume casino special events, and this is it. Assume casino special events occur every Friday and Saturday evening. If an event is known to be occurring shortly, there are a few practical issues to mention when implementing this strategy. First, be aware that the casino will sometimes guess their financial performance correctly. They get it right. It can happen. So next day balancing isn't necessary. In other words, sometimes the casino, gets it right, and you come in and the next morning and try to take advantage because you don't know, and you don't get a win. You don't see anybody else getting a win. That can happen. But like with my $27,000 a few days before Christmas, my hand pay, which up till then I'd only made, I think my largest hand pay up to then had been a $5,000 hand pay. It does kind of pay for all the other trips that I made where I didn't win something. So I don't, and I also don't recommend attending the casino all the time from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. after special events. What I was doing is what I expect you'll do if you implement this strategy. Find a short time between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. when you'll visit the casino for a short while. Third, you may be unable to implement this winning strategy at a casino. Why? Because you may need to be nearby to arrive at the casino so early in the morning. It's easiest to implement if you're staying at a casino hotel while, say, traveling. Lately, as you know, I've been going out to local casinos, and those are a little bit further away, and I've been doing a report on what I see there and letting you know it. Hollywood, Lawrenceburg, Newport Gaming in Kentucky. The first was in Indiana, then the local casino that's near me, one of them anyway, Miami Valley Gaming. And except for the ones that's closest to me, it's very hard for me to go exactly 1 week later to use some of the things I saw on that first trip. I mean, it's even worse for you, say, if you have a trip planned for Las Vegas. Are you going to be there a week later? See, it's just not practical to implement some of this stuff. You go on Christmas Eve, and you're like, I'm not going to be here. New Year's Eve, exactly 1 week later. So some of this becomes impractical. But see what you have available at your local casino. If your gambling goal is to make money, rather than entertainment or complimentary gifts, which would be secondary or very much, very secondary, then this winning strategy is for you. I hope you like getting up early. So let's check in with the live chat. I saw a lot going on there. Let's take a look and see how we're doing. Okay, we're going to back up a little bit here, and Collins gang, happy holidays, everyone. I hope everyone is well. I hope you're well as well. Steve is here from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Hi, Steve. Gary, Gary is asking a question. Is it a good idea to have a casino host while playing slots? Sure. Well, I mean, if they've been assigned to you, I always, if you have a plan, having a host can help you understand. Like for instance, special events. They will know if they're celebrating Valentine's Day or not, and that means that you have insider information, a little bit inside information, convenience maybe might be the better word, of knowing whether or not that's going to be some sort of dinner, likely that you've been invited to. So I'll call hosts a resource, but you need to know how they're useful. And that goes back to your plan. Or as I talk about in my free guide that you can get on my website at the top of any page. In the free guide, we talk about your slots journey. And your travel, it's like a treasure map. You're going through swamps and climbing mountains, and there's all these things you have to kind of work your way through, and having a host can help you, but only if you know where you're going. I feel like I just said that very succinctly, so I'm going to stop there. Bill, good morning. Yep. Good to see here. Charles, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. But literally, how can you take advantage of a casino during the holidays when the machines are random? Nothing, the numbers, nothing is timed perfectly. It's all by luck. That's a common question. It's most of the slots players in the world believe that, and we're pretty happy that they do. Somebody, if everybody knew what I talk about and used it, casinos would not be making as much money and might even be losing money. So please continue to think that way. Now, if you want to look at what professorslots.com, you can look at some of the states. So there's 18 different states that provide return statistics from their casinos. Some of them monthly, most of them monthly, some of them broken down by slot machine denomination. You can see in like Missouri, I brought it up, I think last time. I don't have them right here available now. PowerPoint slides showing like in Florida, Miami-Dade and commercial casinos in Miami-Dade and Broward counties provide their return statistics, win percents by casino. And one casino is always across the top with the best return. Another casino is always across the bottom. Right there. If you know anything about random behavior, that's not possible. So that just kills the whole idea. It's fully 100% luck based. It's not. They get choices, they make them. And we can dig into this, but the evidence is there and it's solid. State data, nobody's opinions. That's what the data shows. Anyway, please continue to believe what you believe because we need you to pay the lights at the casino. Wonderful. Thank you, Charles. All respect intended. Frenzy, hello. Having been using Strategy 7 on a penny slot, found 3 weeks hits at the time I wrote down. Thanks for your content. I brought your course when it first came out. Thank you so much. There are details about some of my strategies. Coming back a week later was what we talked about last time and how it could help with the 5-spin method. It is a combination. But some casinos, this is not about luck. This is not about me making you lucky. This is about casinos having a business setup in their casino and which they can operate within legal limits. And it's about taking advantage of those common business practices. But not every casino has every business practice. I've gone through a lot of them, and some of them have a lot of those business strategies and accounting practices, and with my MBA and all my degrees over there on the wall. And I found ways to take advantage of when they're trying to take advantage of you. And so not every casino does every practice. And I've actually went to one casino which didn't do any of them. Delta Downs in Louisiana. I was shocked. Anyway, another story for another time. And I think I've already mentioned it. But in any case, in prior live streams, not every casino has every business practice. So you can only take advantage of the ones they have. And so all this talk of the accounting balancing that needs to be done the morning after a big event, maybe the casino is particularly good at guessing what they need and they don't need to set that up. Maybe they don't have that accounting practice. There have been people who have checked their casino to see if this is a business practice we can take advantage of, and sometimes it doesn't exist, and sometimes it does. Seems like the Caesars properties, all of them, have it because I've been successful at a couple of them. Harrah's and a Horseshoe where I found this. So I'm making the assumption that that's a brand, but I haven't done it at M Life or MGM. I'd love to try and see so I can start giving you information that it might help you decide. So, as we start sharing more of this information, part of that is if you take the course and you get a month free in the Slots Enthusiast Growth Network, this is the sort of thing that we share amongst each other. Okay, so more questions. Good evening, Kaylee. Bill, does the 5-spin strategy work with class 2 bingo slot machines? No. Not exactly. See, the 5-spin method has actually got a bunch of stuff going on in it. One of the components of the 5-spin strategy is that it's a money management approach. You win, you walk away. That all by itself, whether or not the casino has the business practices of offering tastes, that all by itself, money management, means that you walk away with money, or you can. So that part works on HHR machines, class 2 bingo machines, because it's that component, but the whole bang bang bang, if you've seen the whole taste situation where you just like your eyes get big and you're just like, what's going on? The experiences that I've had at a casino that was definitely using the tastes, that's a whole nother experience. Still winning. So the 5-spin method, is robust and has some stuff going on. So you might consider that. We have another donation. This one is from Magpie. And Magpie says, "Good morning, winners," in her super chat. Thank you so much for your donation. It's very much appreciated. All your donations are. Thank you. And let's see where we are at. Questions. Bella, hello right back at you. And yeah, some people are sharing, those who have gone out and tried some of these strategies, come back a week later, holidays, that sort of thing, all these things based on casino business practices in the live chat, which is not available except during the live stream. It is not available afterwards in the recording, are sharing the casinos where locals have gone. And they're sharing what works, what they've tried and had successes with. Steve says the problems I'm seeing on the 5-spin method is the casino's paybacks are a lot of times don't cover your bets, just a taste. That is true. And at the casino where I first saw this, and I saw other people using it, I just refined it and built the test and figured out a way to optimize it. That's what I present on. Yes, the casino actually turned down the wins. They were all $10,000 or more in the high limit room on these wins that I was watching people do, one after the other, and I'm like, "What's going on?" And figured out how to explain it to others. But the local casino people, they started chatting with one another, maybe bragging, and they all knew how to do it. And it was 18 months later that I'd sit back and I'd just watch people come into the high limit room and they would just go boom, 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 boom. They were obviously doing it. All of them were doing it, but they weren't saying a word. They were just doing it. You can watch them do it. And by that point, the casino had enough. And because it's a casino setup, it's actually expensive to turn it off, to get rid of the electronics, the control system, that has it, but there's a control knob. It's not an actual knob. They can turn down the size of the taste, and some of them did that from $10,000 to $5,000 to hand pays around $1,200. I watched it all happen. I got them, and I watched the numbers decrease over 18 months. Um, I remember going in and previously it was all hand pays, and I was like winning $500, $500, $250, $500, machine after machine, and I'm like, this is terrible. I used to get hand pays, and then I thought about it, and I thought, well, okay, fine, $500 10 times was and I spent a little bit of it, so I'd leave with like $10,000, and I'm like, it pays for gas. I could wish where how it used to be. So yes, it's overused. The way I describe the 5 spin method is, it doesn't last long. I mean, tips and tricks. Somebody mentioned my sharing tips and tricks. That's totally it. I share what works now, and we have to have a discussion. We have to understand the why it worked now so we can understand how it changed, because the technology is changing. So the slots industry is evolving, and we need to keep up with it. So, I can share this stuff, but if you take the course, you get lifetime access to the updated version, and we can talk more about the changes and just getting rid of. It hasn't quite fully happened yet, but there's definitely a trend. It's obviously a trend of getting rid of progressive slot machines with the life-changing jackpots. It's just legally, it's too hard. Conversations, putting this stuff together, research, it's just too hard for the casinos to do that. So they've gotten a lot more of just standalone progressive slot machines. You've seen it, right? If it has a grand, major, mini, minor, some or all of those are now progressive amounts that slowly turn up, and that's just become far more common on a lot of machines. And so this change has only taken a couple of years. So we have to keep up with this stuff. So let's keep going with the questions. um, okay. uh, Conversations back and forth. Ryan's is in Vegas right now for a slot tournament. Players, machines feel tighter. Absolutely. However, there's two things going on. One is I have gotten reports in the last month, November, basically, last couple of weeks, that Las Vegas has tightened down. Um, uh, when you start getting holidays in the middle of the week, it's becomes kind of like weekends all the time. If you go to professorslots.com/Las Vegas visit with dashes between Las and Vegas and a dash between Vegas and visit, you'll see my secret number 6 out of 7 in that article that talks about how the odds are very low on the weekends. Were you there before the weekend? Are you going to be there? Were you there before 10 o'clock on Friday? Are you going to be there after 10 o'clock on Monday? Normally, the odds switch like night and day. It's like hitting a wall on Friday and then suddenly being able to win again on Monday morning. But we do have to remember that Thursday is a holiday, and they could pull that into whenever they want to during the week. They just make it better odds during the week to keep their locals happy, and lower the odds on the weekends for visitors to take their money. It's all very obvious. So I don't mean to get into too many side topics. I want to get back to finishing out our topic about holidays. I will thank you, Richard. Appreciate you enjoying our live Q&A. This is a community event. If you're interested in just getting through this in like 8 minutes, like a normal YouTube video, well, I would recommend that you actually go into the video description, and for people who are watching this later, because it's not done yet, and just read the script. It doesn't get the questions, in it, it's just the content, because I can't anticipate what people are going to say and ask. But, you can read that very fast instead of spending a whole hour, but come to the live stream. It's enjoyable to be here live, but it's not so much for the later. Um, and yeah, we have more people sharing what works where. Uh, um, let's see. First time listener, PNT, PNTD, first time listener from Southern California. Hi. Um, and let's see. Miss Brennan loves all the informational videos. I love making them. I need to make more of them. But doing too many live streams, and I need to make more 4-minute videos. They're coming. They're coming. They're coming. Let's see. Would love to see slots of you actually using your strategies in the casino. Miss Brennan, I would love to be able to do that, but it isn't about playing a slot machine, because then I just win. And I'd still have to say, well, I'm winning because I chose the slot machine. And you'd be like, so how did you choose that slot machine? Well, we're talking about that. And I can't videotape my walking through a casino and finding the best intersections with the noisiest group when everybody else is winning. And I can't show pictures of other people in the casino environment. That's just not allowed. This music from the ceiling is copyrighted, and 3 strikes and you're off YouTube. It's just not feasible. I appreciate, there's a lot of slots channels out there that, they do their own sound and they dub over the music so they don't get in trouble. And it's all very, very limited, and that doesn't help you win. I mean, think about it. If you can watch me win, and if I were to do that, and you can watch the other slots channels win, and what kind of credibility is that? Take an idea or two. I've got like 9, 10 of them, go try it. And the money won't be in my hand. It'll be in your hand. Isn't that better? Okay. Next, I need to get back to our content. Okay. I'm letting some comments go. Carol, how can you tell if the machine is getting ready to hit the jackpot? From Florida. Well, like I said, I got a bunch of different strategies. Did it hit the jackpot? Did it actually hit? Did somebody actually win? It doesn't have to be you. Just watch. Did it actually hit a week ago within a few minutes? 1:15 in the afternoon on a Saturday, last Saturday. Well, then it's got fairly good odds, because of a lot of the stuff I talk about, and you can read up on that particular strategy. A lot of odds are that one's going to win again. The amount will be different, but the odds are good, as long as it wasn't like, Christmas Day last week. Well, actually, that's a bad example, because 1 week after Christmas Day is New Year's Day, and both are holidays. And so, was it a winner a week ago at the same time, same day of the week? Not a different day of the week, same day of the week, 7 days later. And, then you have to strategize these things. What else? End of the row. That's another strategy. You've got end of the row, busy area. It has a view of people winning. Casinos love to lower the odds on their machines, all within legal limits, to point those machines that are pointed at groups, a bar, people where people gather, and that win is seen, and everybody gets excited, and they run to another slot machine, maybe even the same game, which has different odds. People seem to think it has the same odds than the one that was the winner. And, that's what you do. So feel free to read through my strategies. I have a playlist with each one, and think about some of the concepts, and, you can sort this stuff out. I would say it's not particularly easy. I mean, going in and to a casino and getting terribly intoxicated, is just like when people start. The casinos. I was going to talk about this topic today, but I chose to make it later. The casino. If you're uneducated about how things work in a casino, and everybody tells me I'm the only one that talks about how things work. I'm like, really? It's crazy. But if you understand how things work, you can take advantage. And, it just stands in the way of progress to think that everything's just luck based. When the evidence is clear, I mean, state data, how more solid can I get to see that it's only partially luck. Lightning can still strike, but that's not repeatable. What's repeatable is understanding business practices, which ones do they have, and taking advantage of them through a few simple tests. And this is the sort of content that I provide. There are certain people who are, like spreadsheets and studying data, but there's plenty of people who are like 5 pull method. That seems fairly straightforward. I can do that. Yeah. So, last thing I ever want to do is make things not fun. And one way to do that, I'm talking about this and I hope that you find it enjoyable. But, if I were to make winning just 100%, it's hypothetical. If I would just, you do this, go into the casino and you win. It's more than that. You have to actually figure all this stuff out and it works for a while. I've gone into a casino and I'm just like, I don't know how much I'm going to be leaving with, but I'm going to be leaving with a substantial amount of money. But I never knew exactly how much. And I have to tell you, it wasn't fun. I mean, the joy was gone. A little bit of luck based, a little bit of, gambling was what made it fun. So I can't say, do this and you will win. I can't say that. And I'm glad because that's not fun. That's like, well, I got to go over to the ATM machine, make a withdrawal. Yep, yep, yep. And I have money now. How fun is that? So I hope this perspective helps you. Um, yeah, there was one time I have seen a recording from it was one of the news channels in Las Vegas. They walked with a camera crew. They walked through a casino talking to, I think it was a general manager, and it was Caesars on the Strip, and they walked through it. This was last March. Was it April? Maybe April 2020. All the casinos on the Strip were closed, and the news was able to walk through the casino with the general manager and talk about how all the casinos are closed, because there would never be a time when they would do that outside of a pandemic because there's people there and that's privacy concerns. Basically, there's a little bit more than that. They turned off the copyrighted music from the ceiling when nobody was in the room, and it's amazing. The bodies block the sound when you have people in the casino, when it's just the floor and the short ceiling and a bunch of flat surfaces with on slot machines. It's a lot of echoes. That was the amazing thing when I saw that video. It was just echo chamber, which you don't get when you have a lot of bodies like walking around and sitting and all of that, enjoying themselves. So to learn more about my 30 days to play slots smarter and win online course, currently at 50% off for $100 savings, visit my website at professorslots.com/30 days for a complete description, testimonials, and the valuable bonuses you'll get free with the course, including lifetime access to updated versions. I update it like twice a year. It's sometimes like right now, it's got all the content that I wanted to have. But I wish I used more slides more during the presentation instead of talking entirely. I love to get like bullet points up on a screen next to me, that sort of thing, just because some people learn better that way. And so there's some adjustments that I need to make for the new version that'll come out. But if you buy it now, you get that future version. And I'm thinking about doing 2 of those next year, 2 improvements of that type. So you also get the 1 free month access. Besides the lifetime access, you get 1 month free from the Growth Network support community. You get a PDF of my book, 221-page book, Learning to Win, which you can also find on Amazon and as an ebook and audiobook and hardcover, softcover. You also get my spreadsheet templates, which I will update for 2022, and you get them free with the course. This allows you to do what you need for income tax preparation, which, by the way, I'm working to schedule my accountant, my CPA, to come on the show. here. I've always been alone here on my end of things, and inviting him in to talk to you about gambling record keeping and what all that involves. I'm sure you're going to be interested. I get all kinds of questions about that. So that's going to be December sometime. We're looking at setting it up. Don't have the exact date yet. So links to my course are in the video description. See testimonials and more to understand your wise investment in purchasing 30 Days Play Slots Smarter and Win at professorslots.com/30 days. And I could go on about this topic. Let me see if there's more questions that I might be missing. See, did I already see you, Sport Guy? I think I did. All right. Where did I leave off on? Okay, XL79, Washington State. Yeah, I had a video on. It was my most popular video. When you get really specific about a particular part of the country, the performance of the video does really well. So I was so happy to talk about Washington, the state of Washington, and slots. They have a unique system based off of scratch tickets, the virtual version of scratch tickets from the state lottery. Actually, it was a tribal state lottery system. Where did I leave off? Max, lots of casinos are consolidating companies. Yep, Tropicana bought out Harris, so now they're one company, and rules are the same instead of different. Well, think about large companies combining. It takes them 6 months to get the signs in, to change the sign in the building. How quickly have you ever worked for a large company? My father worked for General Motors. I've worked for General Electric. It's what's the analogy they say? It's like driving a ship at sea. It doesn't corner well. Changing the course a little bit takes years for the biggest company in the world. How long does it take some of these conglomerates? It has to be flowed down. So let's just say not quick. A year minimum, 6 months minimum. And that's why it would be lovely to get that information. It's a start, but that's why I try to provide tests. You walk into the casino, you test, this is what you're looking for. If it's not there, it's pretty straightforward. Skip that one, move on to another one. Not every strategy works at every casino, and there have been casinos where it doesn't work at all. Australia, the Melbourne casinos, they're very light on sharing information. I'm going to have to go. Sorry, I'm just going to have to go to the Gold Coast. And we get plenty of people here from Australia. But the little mom and pop places, almost like convenience stores, casinos, sort of situation. It's just, they don't have the equipment. They don't have a central server. They don't need one for 20 slot machines in a little room in the back. And that's the sort of thing that we need. We need to have the business side of things. This is not about luck. This is about, business practices and getting an edge, taking advantage of casinos when they're hard at work, taking advantage of us. Right. Let's see if I'm. Hi, Nadia. Hi, right back to you. Miss Brennan, apparently you did not hear me. Yes, there are plenty of people playing slots on YouTube. It won't help you if I were to do that. Go watch them. But this is where you learn. They don't teach you anything. I mean, you can learn how to play a game, but that doesn't matter. Is there a better time, Natasha? Is there a better time to gamble on the weekends, morning, night? We're talking about today, what I've found, not speculating, but what I've made use of is early in the morning after a busy night, which could be, if you're at Morongo or San Manuel or Hard Rock Tampa, that's every Friday night. Now, while Hard Rock Tampa and San Manuel, it might be every night of the week. So that means the morning after every night of the week would be a great time to go at some of those casinos. But there's plenty of casinos like anything in Ohio or Indiana where they're only busy on a Friday night, maybe a Saturday night, or if there's a holiday. So that sort of casino, depending on where you're at, we get to different kinds. Morning after a busy night. That's the answer. And I don't know if it's going to be busy. You have to find out. And awesome. Hey, awesome. Will Vegas after Super Bowl and Valentine's be a good opportunity? Maybe Valentine's. Like I said, I went to 2 casinos in Kentucky this year on Valentine's. One celebrated and one did not. It's find out which place you're staying and go to the casinos that had a big busy night the night before with the Valentine's Day. The Super Bowl, it's just like Thanksgiving being on Thursday. It's well planned in advance. I don't like being at a casino when they encourage me to be there. And the morning after Super Bowl, that sounds like a workable plan. But I would go to another big promotional event at the casino you want to try after Super Bowl, because you want to find out if they have it. And then you go to casinos that have it. So, and that's how I would plan that. You're welcome, Miss Brennan. I don't see a question there, Haley. Steve, not that I'm suggesting you have one, but I can't respond to something that doesn't have a question in it. My advice, Steve, for you, slots. Okay. He says go several times to see patterns. That's all good. Steve's been around and followed me for a long time. Cindy, do you think play a $20 bet on one machine is good with set amount to get or count spins? So in general, don't bet more than you can afford. If you can bet, I think you meant $20 bets, not 20-cent bets. If you make $20 bets, don't do anything that doesn't make you comfortable. You need to be able to be ready to comfortably lose that money. And if you aren't comfortable losing that money, don't spend that much money. This is what I like to do for that specific strategy you're talking about is make the minimum possible bet, which used to be 1 penny on penny machines, and now it's more like 88 cents, almost $1. Make minimum bets. See if the casino has that business practice. Then run to the high limit room. Armand. Oh, that's a different question. Yeah. Sport guy. I think I haven't seen. Makes a point that it was just crazy when you start seeing some of this stuff. I think there was somebody else who had a super sticker. I want to make sure I acknowledge that person. Elderich, thank you so much for your super sticker, and it looks like it's high five. All right, okay, a little high five. I'm sorry I can't show it on the live stream. It's different software. Okay, so it's wonderful that you were all here. Let's see here, and I wanted to close out with all that. So thank you so much for being here. I know I went over a little bit. I didn't get to everybody. And John, please be aware that John Dacre, the live chat isn't shown to anybody after the recording. So your attempts at advertising another slots channel falls on deaf ears. It's really a waste of your time. Now I know you. Right. Thank you so much. You have a great day, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. And I will see you next weekend.